Okay, welcome back to Corbin Conversations. Today I'd like to talk about something that I've thought on a small scale before. I've thought about here and there, but not too intently. But I was just sitting here doing some thinking, went on a walk, and I just thought I'd talk about the topic of thinking, just in general. I think it's very rare nowadays where people will have time to themselves to just sit and think. To just be alone with your own thoughts and sort through problems, without the help of social media or music or some motivational speech, but to really go through life as an individual, to think problems and situations through, to think. I fully believe each individual has within themselves the tools and keys to fix the problems in their lives and open the doors for their future that need to be open. I think the only way to do that efficiently is to think clearly, to think deliberately, to think with a purpose. And I think environments and situations that foster proper thinking are dwindling today. Sort of an abstract thing. I don't really know where I'm going with this, but I do think that thinking clearly is one of the most sophisticated things that human beings can do. It is one of the very few things that make us different from animals, right? It pushes us above baseness, our ability to think. I think it's so wonderful that we can be faced with a situation, and instead of losing our minds or doing the same thing, making the same mistakes 1,000 times over, we can sit and we can go through scenarios in our head. We can recall past situations. We can recall methods we employed to fix other issues, and we can try to come up with new solutions for all sorts of situations, for all sorts of problems. I think that's beautiful. I think it is incredibly sophisticated. And I think each human being would put themselves at a serious disservice to not utilize this gift called thinking, to not use our brains, our minds, to solve issues, to come up with solutions. I see in myself sometimes inefficient thinking, right? Some patterns of inefficient thinking. And I also see it in other people too. I really question, I was like, does this person do they know how to think? Do they understand how to think? What is it that causes someone to make the same mistake in different variations, time and time again? What is it that causes that? And I truly believe it is inefficient thinking. Now, what causes those things really? What in their environment that causes those things? I don't really know, but I do know that those things happen again and again because people are unable to think clearly, to think properly. What does it mean to fix a problem? Why do we have a brain? It's a tool. I think we should spend a lot more time learning how to use it, spending time in our head, because I think a lot of the solutions to different problems, they reveal themselves to us in quiet time, when we're quiet, when we respect the problem, and we give it our attention, we pay attention to a problem. It's a price you pay to fix anything. There's a price you pay to achieve anything. And the price is your attention. That is what you pay. But in order to pay this attention, you must think. Alright? There's some situations that force you to pay attention, to give it your attention. But in most situations, You direct your attention where you want it to go. And you can't figure that out unless you think. What do you want out of life? What outcome would you desire out of each situation? Would you rather be happy or sad? Would you rather be peaceful or troublesome? To figure those things out, you must think. And then when different problems appear, which they inevitably will, the way you get over those hills, get over those mountains, conquer those problems is by thinking. Thinking clearly and efficiently. That's really all I have to say today. Think deliberately. Try to think clearly. And think with the end in mind. Think. My name's Corbin. This is Corbin Conversations. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace.